What is happening, y'all? Welcome on back. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. Diving back into KCD2, I think we're on the tail end of this finally. And got to figure out what games I'm going to be knocking out next.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell, and we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of... And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all? Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. You have men and weapons.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the margrave.
Everything in good time, Samuel.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to...
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Everything all right? You look a bit out of sorts.
I can't wait for it to end so we can get out of here.
Would you tell me something about your community?
What can I... It was never exactly glorious.
Surely
There are many...
Yeah, I'm not too sure I care.
We will... Anyway.
I'm glad to find you.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin-Brabant. I am
Oh,
a
this is the guy
warrior,
who
a
gets on my
traveler.
nerves because I can't
My
understand
word.
half the shit he's saying.
Mais non.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. How did you end up in prison?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. And only lot.
That needs some...
Oh.
You're quite mis...
Ah, this Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen... Do tell me about it.
The last time was at Nabokov.
Ah, indeed.
That's a fact.
Perhaps one day...
Do you reckon the defense... You say you're a poet?
Jamais.
Where have you been on your travels?
But of course, if you are in... And if you...
And you wouldn't...
Which one?
Yeah, I don't care what this guy's got to
come
I
say.
am up my grade there.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here? I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of... That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that? I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering. Is that so? Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you. It depends what it's all about. A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings. That's a weak word. And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that. Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace. We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army. If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre. Ah, but it won't.
Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage in equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Haman Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, meanwhile...
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. There aren't many like you two left.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunstadt. I know the name, but...
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game. He always goes for the sure thing.
Alder the Alderman.
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers.
Anna of Waldstein.
Wenzel Bartosz.
I was quite surprised to see her here.
A male affair? Anna is holding back and behaving like... But don't trust appearances.
And what use can she be to us?
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows they're a wicked tongue, and that it was
I'll get on it then.
I wish us both
success. God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
Hit the nail on the head again, Mom. You're well informed.
I am rarely mistaken.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. So, to the point.
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you. You must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harman Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harman Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odoran's groom has eyes everywhere.
How are you getting on?
Everything.
Glad to hear it. Keep it up. Just don't...
Sir,
Nor I, until now. I am Sir Conrad, Lord of Wächter.
Used to be.
And I used until the king decided...
Are you...
I haven't quite... But if...
Do you...
And he know... More than... So I...
Sir...
Even...
I'm not...
There's no...
It was a...
Likewise.
I'll tell you, nobody has the license.
That's hard to believe.
Martin likes to exaggerate. He was talking about the sorry nags even when they belong to someone else.
These are the best thoroughbreds.
I'd like to check your horses out.
Ha!
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well.
You wanted to apologize for crashing in.
I want to have a word with the...
Well, I'm having a word
I apologize.
for interrupting our conversation.
Is that your...
Unfortunately.
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky I got him a place at the Archbishopric. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him. Lost every...
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard...
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Alder.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor.
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson, and he's got plenty to learn from Christopher.
Why, you want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard.
After you.
Well, that...
Shouldn't we rather...
No. Christopher...
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Yeah. Look in my eyes.
Enough.
Not at my sword.
That will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. You could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days?
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until the... But now...
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. It's a nice idea.
Only no one's going to pay.
Alder's got some...
I expect Alder's not the... Leave Alder to me.
I don't know how to thank...
You can drag me to a tavern sometime.
What's that? What? Greetings.
Aren't you a bit...
What's your problem?
God forbid.
Not really. Is that so? Wine. Stop drinking.
I just need... You know what?
And
not as...
Farewell.
Godwin, we didn't have much time for conversation.
With pleasure, sir. What are you expecting?
Well, but as long as... Although, if...
Wise...
You know?
May God...
Haven't you? No one... Godwin.
Well... I've got those papers.
Quiet!
Lady, With all the clamor, here they are. You're welcome.
As agreed.
Thank you. No.
Yes, quite.
How could I...
And... Who's seeing this?
Oh dear.
Have no fear.
Will you...
What do you... I can't...
It's gonna blow through this.
Why?
I hope...
And I...
So it's not... What do you...
Or...
He's... So...
And they live... God be with you.
Down the old oak at the crossroads.
Oh no! Why? A lovely tree. A nice place to rest.
Good to see you, friend. Lions engaging our common enemy.
They're trying to do one thing and one thing only. Line their pockets.
You see...
Oh, these grand... I'd be happier if they just...
But then you'd... It seems Lichten...
And how... The only...
Let's...
And that...
A lot of work...
No, that...
Well...
Sigismund... Not to me.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put it... Jobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as...
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve...
Does that improvement include a few thousand men at arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men at arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention.
How can I persuade you?
I need guarantees of security. I don't want to end up like Rutard.
Of course. Once it comes to protecting property...
You can talk, since you haven't got a pot to piss in yourself. If you were in my position, I have a lot of property. I can't risk it all.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing...
My guarantee is called Yitka. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the...
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster.
He may be young, but he's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured for life.
If he gets it. Right now, on the other hand, the Lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be... Maybe it's not...
So...
You're selling the skin of a boar first.
And what if...
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one. If he agrees, I'll be...
Pushing a...
The kingdom will...
Christ be praised.
Sir Hanush!
You do?
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the Elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? By Christ, he's the last one I'd... How the hell did you do...
Well, there's one little catch.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstadt has a niece, so... I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yit. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe so. Young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Yes.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishop?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself.
Cheers!
Cheers to you!
May I have a word?
You? Anytime. Unlike this packet.
Have you got...
Their forefathers lived and they... But hello.
Young Lord Capon is finally...
He got a harsh lesson. But if not...
Do you think that...
I said...
What do you
Much
think?
talking, for fuck's sakes.
Zabojek, your niece Yivka can...
So Hanush agreed.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my...
Thank you.
Enough formality.
Cheers!
Here's to...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstad will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes. And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslas, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will... will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Well, I'm going to cut this short. So the next save point, we'll wrap this up.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to...
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rebel get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks, but instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets and let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, you have 2 weeks to restore order in the city. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes,
Sire. As you wish, sire.
Alright, I gotta wrap this up.
Between the two of us.
It just saved 1246, so we're good. We'll have to continue this later. Oh shit, what happened? No! What happened? I didn't even hit a button. I just set the controller down.